Aaron Banks, apparently, according to Tom Pelissero, is going to command anywhere from 18 to 20 million dollars. I thought, are you kidding me?
Insane.
It's insane. And this guy had a horrible season last season, to the point where I was like, dude, get this guy out of here. I don't think the Niners are going to give him this or give him any contract to begin with, because I don't think he played well enough to earn that contract from the Niners. And then on top of that, when you look at this deal that posted today, which is Alex Kappa signed a 2-year deal, a 2-year, $11 million deal. And this guy was the absolute worst at sacks, pressures allowed. He was not good.
Mhm.
Yet he got 2 years, 11 million. So it kind of makes sense. I guess the market will dictate that Aaron Banks could earn that. But I just think when it comes to guys like Aaron Banks, Alec Kappa, I'd stay away from those guys. I didn't see enough out of Aaron Banks that made me want to bring him back.
No, and I think with the offensive line, I feel like fans are going to be disappointed because if McKivitz, what they're going to do, obviously Pooney, what they're going to do with the other guard spot, I feel like it's going to be like Ben Barch, Spencer Burford. It's going to be those type of guys that are going to compete. You have Trent Williams, and they absolutely need to do something at center, though. So you cannot run back with Jake Brendel. You can't do it. He's 33 years old now. He was terrible last year. You cannot run Jake Brendel back. So you mentioned Dahlman. I agree. He's the guy to get, but he's probably going to get 13, 14 million a year. I don't know if the Niners can do that. Josh Myers, I know a lot of people in Green Bay are all over the place with him, and he's taken a lot of criticism, but he knows the system. He might come cheap. He's somebody that he started a lot of games on a good offense. He's somebody that you could maybe see interest in from them, but they have to do something at center. And center's another position where I thought, when Kyle first got here, they made Weston Richburg a priority. Mm-hmm. They signed Alex Mack. I always thought, all right, Kyle's going to want to have his center in here. And then they just kind of went with Brendel. And I know they have Drake Nugent, that they were developing or whatever, but they haven't really addressed it. And again, this year, unless you're jumping for one of those free agents, what are you going to do? So it's one of those things that really has you scratching your head the way they've built the team the last 3 or 4 years, because they really haven't done much in terms of drafting in the trenches. And they don't have guys that are really ready to step in. Don't even get me started on the defensive line, where I think you have Bosa, probably Malik Collins, and I don't know what the hell you're doing. Yeah. So you have all these people to fill in. It's nuts. But I know people are like offensive line. I think they'll draft one or maybe two, but probably going to see much of the same offensive line probably instead of center. And then, like I said, those guys at guard.
If their defensive line was fully fortified, I would say, okay, yeah, they can go after offensive linemen, easy in the draft. But looking at a guy that I mentioned earlier, in Drew Dahlman, I mean, this came out saying that he's going to command somewhere around $13 to $14 million range.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense. I think the Niners could afford that. Do I think they're going to do it? I don't know. It's hard to say with the way that they're coming across this offseason as like huge penny pinchers. I don't know what they're going to do, but this is a guy that I think would vastly improve their offensive line, because, like we were saying, Jake Brendel was awful.
Yeah, I just don't know if they're going to reset. They're not rebuilding, obviously, but this looks like a little bit of a reset season. And if that's the case, maybe they're not going to be very active in free agency. Maybe they're just going to look to start getting younger and faster and start building up maybe around some of these core guys. The flip side of that is, are you going to waste, the last couple of years, or, peak years, I should say, of guys like Kittle and Warner and Trent Williams? Are you just going to waste that? So they're in a really tough spot. But if you look at their roster in terms of, like, we're talking, okay, they need a center, we need a receiver, we need this. Look at the defense. Like I said, I think you have Collins and Bosa, and then I don't even know what else you have on the defensive line. So you probably need 3 or 4 defensive linemen. Greenlaw is going to go. I like Winters as a third linebacker, but now you need a linebacker. You have Green and you have Lenore. They literally have no other corners. So you need a third corner to play in nickel situations, and you need a fourth corner because somebody's going to get hurt. So you need some depth there. I love Mustafa at safety, but Jair Brown had a bad year, so you probably need a safety. So you need all those positions on defense. They need a receiver, like we talked about. They still need a second tight end. They need the offensive line pieces. They need another running back, because you can't rely on McCaffrey to really be there for 400 touches again. If he's anything, I think you get from him is a plus. Garendo was hurt all the time. He looks like more of a change of pace guy. And they're not going to pay Jordan Mason $5 million a year or whatever his tag is. He's going to get traded. So you need so much. They need so much. So it's like we're looking in free agency. Oh, we need this, that, and the other thing. it's crazy because with this, how good this team has been, with how many free agents they have. And again, because they've drafted so poorly from 2021 to 2023, you just need so much. I know their schedule is really easy, but people are talking like, oh, can they get back to the Super Bowl? And I'm thinking to myself, Super Bowl? Can they win 9 games? Like, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And the next couple months will tell us what they're going to be. It's going to tell us a lot. And maybe they will surprise people and make some moves and then be more aggressive. We'll have to see how they draft. But right now, I have a hard time seeing the 49ers in 2025 be a legitimate Super Bowl contender, given what their roster looks like right now. They could make noise. They have so much talent still, and they could push for a playoff spot. To be a legitimate Super Bowl contender with the state of their roster, they have a lot of work to do this offseason.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more of this content, then check out some of these recommended videos right here on your screen. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by going to my website, which is nicotina.net, and there are memberships available under DreArea Sports.